People are expected to come back here tonight to light a candle in honor of Fuentes once again. People described him as a family man and someone who denounced violence. Reporting live from Syracuse near West Side, Colleen Callander, NCC News. We're glad you're watching us here on the DIA website, but we want to make sure you know about a special feature you might find useful. If you just scroll down on the website past all of the articles that we have posted, you'll see a map. And this map has all of our reporting locations where we have reporters all throughout Onondaga County. Thanks, Nate. I'm here outside the Carrier Dome where it's a frigid 22 degrees, but the temperature has not deterred people from showing up to watch the Syracuse Orange back in action on the court. As you can see, people are filing in, all bundled up, ready to watch Syracuse men's basketball against Cornell. The names of the victims are engraved here on the Wall of Remembrance, where tomorrow a rose-laying ceremony will take place, followed by a convocation at Hendricks Chapel. Some of the apartments in the complex are 2 stories and can be equipped with its own washer and dryer. The mumps outbreak continues to grow at Syracuse University, where officials have confirmed 37 cases of it and 76 probable cases, which is why students have been in and out of health services since the start of the semester. Lexinger's hasn't changed its prices in years. The cost is determined by the size of the tree. This 7-foot Douglas fir costs $60. But the Fraser fir over here is Erin's favorite because of its sturdy branches and blue tint underneath. SU creative writing professor George Saunders' novel, Lincoln in the Bardo, won a prestigious award last week.
Mornings on the Hill reporter Katie Benoit joins us to tell us about what's happening with the next novel.
Big names are coming off the shelves of Justin Hazy's small business.
Bell helmets, Giro helmets, Camelback.
The co-owner of Boulder Cycle Sport says there's nothing wrong with the brands. The issue is the parent company, Vista Outdoors.
Their products are amazing. They're top in their industry, so it was a real challenge to make this decision. Can you pop this bottom bracket in this?
Hazy and his management are taking a stand against gun violence, and that means cutting ties with Vista Outdoors after 12 years.
With the name like Vista Outdoors, we tied it to camping gear, and we just didn't do the research on it that we should have.
In addition to camping gear, Hazy found out the company also owns several gun-related companies. One is called Savage Arms.
Putting assault rifles and that type of equipment in the hands of civilians it's not what we're about.
He knows not all cyclists and customers will agree with the move, which was decided even before the school shooting in Parkland, Florida.
Our minds had already been made up, but that was just some affirmation.
Hazy says he knows the business will take a financial hit.
It was a good portion of our helmet and shoe business.
But the products can be replaced.
As a company, me and my business partners, we won't compromise our core values or profits.
Colleen Callander, 9 News.
Each basket gets a notebook and 2 pens.
Small things can make a big difference.
Any gift baskets we got at the hospital was just so appreciated and just brought you a little bit of joy and comfort, even if just for a little while. It just helped to know that people were caring about you. And
Andy and Ashley Glatter spent nearly 3 months in the hospital last year with their inspiration for these baskets.
And we did these little onesies that say Little Warrior on them.
That's what they called their son, Joshua.
Exhausting, agonizing. Even on the good days, it was just constant juggling and always feeling like your heart is in 2 different places.
Joshua lost his fight just a day and a half after leaving the NICU.
Just him being born, just him living as long as he did was a miracle in itself, and we're grateful for that.
With the help of friends, family, and strangers, Andy and Ashley put together 45 care baskets.
You don't realize how fast things add up until you have to buy 45 of something.
All of them will go to families in the NICU and pediatric intensive care unit at Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children.
Hey, this is for you guys. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're filled with things you just don't think about when your child's in the hospital, like games and coloring books to occupy your other kids.
My files, they are...
It wasn't easy for Ashley and Andy, going back to the place where they spent nearly 40 hours a week with their son.
You guys all saved his life multiple times, so.
But that's why they did it.
We know your lives are kind of turned upside down.
Because they know how it feels to fight alongside a little warrior.
Keep persevering, keep swimming, and never give up hope.
Colleen Callander, 9 News. The last standing bookstore in Greeley is seeing more people walking in and out of its doors than ever before. but the reason behind the influx is bittersweet.
Everything's discounted. Everything's for sale. All my fixtures. The first thing I sold was our popcorn machine.
Loyal customers are making their final visits to Woody's newsstand, the bookstore and cafe that began writing its first chapter 81 years ago. Manager Kimberly Bodie says a decrease in sales, changes in distributors, and the digital age we live in are all factors in the owner's decision to close up shop.
So I kind of felt that it was just a matter of time before this was going to happen. These racks used to be so full that when we would put up magazines weekly, we could hardly squeeze another magazine in.
It's clear that Woody's newsstand was more than just a place for people to come spend their money.
I think it's a real loss to the community. I mean, it's a real hub for so many of us in different ways.
Bodie is used to seeing the same faces during the 17 years she's managed the shop.
I meet them when they're not married, then they get married, and then they have a baby, and then next thing you know, they're graduating from high school.
Kathy Pascal, one of the store's regulars, is heartbroken.
It's really going to be a void in this area. I mean, people from the courthouse come, people just walking by.
Bodie says she doesn't know what will take its place, but the end of this month will mark the final chapter for Woody's newsstand.
We'll miss everybody.
In Greeley, Colleen Callander, 9 News. Tropical storm Philippe made its way up the East Coast today, leaving flooding and power outages along its path. Good evening, I'm Colleen Callander. Japan's defense minister warns that North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities have grown to an unprecedented, critical, and imminent level. Current Mayor Stephanie Miner says Syracuse can't afford what it really needs: more police. Last week, Police Chief Frank Fowler said his department needed more officers, but Miner says Syracuse is in a fiscally tough position. The PBA president also spoke out in an open letter, urging the next mayor to hire more police officers. Earlier this year, the Common Council restructured the budget to add 15 new officers, but Miner says she does not plan to make those hires. We're glad you're watching us here on the DIA website, but we want to make sure you know about a special feature you might find useful. If you just scroll down on the website past all of the articles that we have posted, you'll see a map. And this map has all of our reporting locations where we have reporters all throughout Onondaga County. SU creative writing professor George Saunders' novel, Lincoln in the Bardo, won a prestigious award last week.
Mornings on the Hill reporter Katie Benoit joins us to tell us about what's happening with the next novel.
And I'm Colleen Callander. We'll see you next Wednesday at 10, live here on Orange Television Network. Thanks for watching and have a great day, Syracuse.